I met this girl when I was 10 years old. And what I love most, she had so much soul. Hey everybody, it's Old School Heart back with another cultural conversation for you guys. So I hope everybody is keeping warm. You know, I live in Chicago, so it is cold. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching the last video and adding some perspective to the conversation. I really appreciate it. So today's video is basically going to be about Nick Cannon, returning to MTV's Wildin' Out. So last week, it was reported that Nick Cannon would be returning to TV. His show Wildin' Out would be coming back to MTV. And then he also would be continuing his hosting gig on The Masked Singer, which I believe is on NBC or Fox. I'm not familiar with The Masked Singer. I don't watch it. And I haven't actually watched Wildin' Out for years. But last week it was reported that, you know, Wildin' Out would be back amidst the controversy that Cannon received from his internet show, Cannon Class, the interview that he did with Professor Griff, and the comments that were made about the Jews and different things like that. So I wanted to spend some time, very quick time, talking about, you know, my different thoughts on it, and then getting you guys' perspective as well, how you felt about, you know, him coming back to television after basically, you know, everyone coming after him for the comments that were made during his online show. So let's go backwards to the interview that Nick Cannon did on Cannon's Class with the Jewish rabbi. So I did watch that video. I've never been so pissed a day in my life, but I got through the video. One of the things that I found to be very disappointing in watching that video is Nick Cannon made it very obvious that he was trying to redeem himself. And so the whole time, the Jewish rabbi was able to scold him and almost treat him as a toddler. You know, like, don't do that. Nope, we don't. Not, you know, kind of like that. Kind of like getting him together. You know, like, you don't know our history. You don't know our education. So I'm here to not only teach you, but I'm going to teach you as if you are a child that doesn't know anything. And Nick, because he is trying to gain mercy and grace, you know, he is basically soaking all of this in and basically just taking it. And it was hard for me to watch Cannon go through that, because I understand a black man, you know, trying to run businesses, trying to pay people, trying to hold it all together, that he does not want to lose all of that. You know, he does not want to have to give all of that away. In the video, he looks so engaged and he's learning and he's like, you know, oh, I didn't know this, you know. So it was just like really, it was just a lot to watch. And the one thing that I noticed throughout this entire video is, you know, as this rabbi is talking about how harmful it is to make certain statements about Jewish people, how harmful it is to categorize them in certain ways, you know, and what the Jewish culture has went through and Jewish people have went through. There was no pushback on Cannon's end. You know, there was no engaging conversation in which Cannon shared some perspective on our plight as African Americans, our economic crisis issues, our cultural things that hurt our cultural group, things that are said that are harmful to our people. And so there was no engaging conversation in which Nick was like, hey, I understand that you're giving your perspective on your people and what you feel is harmful to your people. But, we share that same sentiment even more so than you do. One of the things that the Jewish rabbi was saying was that, this whole perspective of Jewish people, and when you say we have money and we throw money our way and we're lawyers, we run everything, that's harmful to our people. But harmful in the way that you would be killed for it, harmful in the way that you wouldn't be able to progress over the last 50 years, that has not happened. That has not happened. And that's where Nick Cannon should have pushed back and said, I can understand your perspective, but these comments are not harmful to where there has been death, there has been economic oppression, there has been, no gains in our culture, business-wise and different things like that. That is where, Nick could have pushed back, but Nick did not. What I learned is that, time and time again, Black celebrity will betray the African American progression, right? Cannon's not the first person to retract everything that he said before and pander to white people. He's not the first person. We've had a number of Black celebrities who have pandered to a specific audience in order to keep wealth, in order to feed their family. Cannon, like many other, Black celebrities, are still descendants of slaves that may have dealt with poverty as a young person, or family may have dealt with poverty. And so the very last thing that any of these people want to do is to lose the wealth that they've acquired. Unfortunately, progression in the African American community, especially as it relates to everybody receiving equal pay, equal treatment, and an economic, fairness, the only way that can be done is Black celebrity would have to, in some ways, give up wealth, in some ways do things different. And Nick and others are just an example of people who are not willing to do that work, who are not willing to give up their wealth in order that we progress economically, in order that we push back on the things that hold us back systemically through white oppression. That's not going to happen through people like Nick Cannon. And the sad part is, Cannon's class was based on this rich African American discussion on cultural values, on things that we need to do in order to make sure that there's economic fairness, that our cultural experience isn't robbed by other people, that people are listening to the things that we say, and if they're not, we're demanding that they do, that our voices are heard. Cannon's class, had interviews from a wide variety of what you would call woke or conscious people, where the discussion was in building up of the race. Because Nick, had all of these conscious, woke people on Cannon's class, talking about the culture, talking about, different perspectives, we assume that, if something like what Nick Cannon went through ever came up, Cannon would choose us. That was the perspective, that Cannon would choose us. And we would have his back on whatever move he decided to make. And so when he did have the backlash about his statements on the Jews, y'all tried our best to make sure that he understood that, hey, we have your back, whatever you decide to do. If you decide to go independent, we will be here for you. And all of us as Black people that at least I seen online made that very clear. And even the people that were on Wild and Out made that very clear. Whatever Nick Cannon decides to do, they were going to be with it. But like I said, when you're a descendant of a slave yourself and you've acquired wealth and you come from a state of poverty, the last thing I guess you would want to do is go back into poverty and not be able to feed people and not be able to continue on with the opportunities that you have. And so, unfortunately, Nick Cannon basically backtracked, made a public apology, invited a rabbi on in order to attain what he already has, in order to feed his family, in order to take care of everyone. And like I said, we have to have an understanding that Black celebrity will not push progression, not black progression. They're just not the people that are going to be able to do that. And we need to understand that, the people that will truly make a difference in our community and push those things forward are going to be grassroots people, not people who have acquired wealth from the very people that we are trying to snatch it from, and people that we are saying owes us, and so those people are in a predicament that, holds them on a leash. They have no way of moving. They're just, that's as far as it can go. That leash is still very intact. And so they're very limited on, their role in Black progression. Our progression is going to come from grassroots people that live in your neighborhood, and that's where our focus should lie, on the people that are day to day doing the work, giving the education, providing the resources for us to progress, for us to continue to fight for what is owed to us. And that's just how it's going to be. Am I disappointed in Nick Cannon? I am a little disappointed in Cannon because if you're gonna talk it, you gotta be able to back it up. But am I surprised? No, I'm not. I had slight hope because, the first couple of days he hadn't said anything. He wasn't taking anything back. And I was like, okay, Cannon. Okay. Next thing you know, I'm going to do an interview with a rabbi. And I was like, oh, hell no. Here we go with the bull. I can't say a curse word on YouTube no more. But here we go with the bull, So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And I get it. When you're trying to feed people, when you're trying to take care of your own family, there are decisions that you have to make. And there are things that you have to compromise. And unfortunately, Nick is not in the position where he can choose us over that. And it is what it is. People like us, who live day to day, are able to sacrifice a little bit more because we don't have anything to lose. And that's just being real. We don't have that much to lose. And so we'll continue with our progression. We'll continue on fighting for the things that we need for the community. But don't expect people like Cannon to do that. Don't expect people like Oprah, Tyler Perry, these people to, be the catalyst for change for us. They may talk it and it's cute and they write articles on it and they do videos on it, but they are not going to bite the hand that feeds them ultimately. They're not going to do that. So I want to know what your perspective is on Nick Cannon returning to Wild and Out, and still doing the Masked Singer. Did you believe that, maybe he would revolt? Did you believe that maybe he would come up with his own, show and go independent? Or did you believe that he would fold in a couple of days? I want to know your perspective. So this is Old School Heart. I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep warm. And leave me a comment and share this video. I'll see you real soon, actually, because I will be doing a video on the Black Messiah. I believe the Black Messiah, the new movie on Fred Hampton. I'm definitely going to do that. That'll be done on Saturday or Sunday. You'll have a review on that. So I'll talk to you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.